Hi, my name is Nick. Today I want to discuss hollowing for SLA 3D printing. Why do we hollow models? We do this for a few reasons. One of them being that it saves us resin. The other is that it helps to minimize the surface area per layer printed, resulting in a higher success rate for your prints. I'm going to be showing this demonstration on the model of a gelatinous cube created by Clay Raid from Thingiverse with thing number 3778857. The reason I'm choosing this model is because it is the simplest to demonstrate how to hollow your models. So to solidify the reasoning, right now, if we slice it as it is, it's going to require 65 grams of resin, resulting in a print that costs around €4. The next point, the whole model has very high surface areas. We want to minimize that. If we print it as it is, there is a high chance that the model can get detached from the build plate or have layer shifts within it because of movement of the build plate. So we want to hollow it. In Chitubox, you have the hollow option up here. You can go for a wall thickness between 1.8 millimeters to 3 millimeters, whatever your model may require, for a precision value of 300%. This value is very interesting because the way that Chitu handles it is the higher the value past 300%, the more accurate the internal hollow will be relative to the outside of the model. You'd expect that 100% would be the most accurate, but no, you want to go higher than that to have a more accurate hollow. So once we hollow it, we get this. So this is already better because in its current state, it now requires 26.7 grams and costs significantly less. Surface area per layer is also significantly decreased, but if we print it as it is, we're going to have a big problem because we have now a big suction cup that, due to its geometry, will try to detach itself from the plate due to pressures built up within this cavity. So how do we proceed? We need to orient it to be able to place supports for it. Both orientation and supports are going to be covered in a different video. For now, I'm just going to quickly do this. This orientation will give us a reliable print with minimized layer shifts. So we're already on the right track. However, we still have the issue of an internal cavity that will try to ruin our print. What are we going to do? We're going to place a hole. These holes are used for venting, and ideally they always want to be placed as low or close to the bed on the model as possible. So right here, if we scroll down and have a look at our internal geometry, we can see that the hollow and cavity will begin around here. That means that we need to start venting the model from this point. If we raise it a little bit more, we can go and create a hole. I'm going to use a 2.5 millimeter hole because I found that it works fine for venting and is not too difficult to cover up. You will want to experiment if you want to use smaller sized holes because there will be a limit as to how easy it is to clean up the resin from inside and how well you can actually print the hole with your exposure settings and resin. So we're going for a 2.5 millimeter hole, depth of 6 millimeters, perpendicular to the model. And we're going to plop it down right here, which is right about where the hollow begins. To make cleaning easier, we're also going to want to plop another one over here at the top, because when you drain the resin, you will have a point where the resin flows out, air flows in, so it'll make your process a lot easier, unless you want to go for a significantly larger hole. So we're already on the right track for a successful print because we have a hollow model with very small per layer surface areas, and it is appropriately vented to prevent a pressure buildup. What do we need to do next? Well, we need to support our model. For the demonstration's purposes, I am going to quickly do a heavy auto support in Chitubox. It is going to give us such a structure, and it is also important to note that it will support the inside. Because now that your model is hollow, you are creating overhangs and islands on the internal section of your model. So this has to always be taken into account, and supports need to be placed appropriately. You will not ever be removing those supports, so if you blast it completely with supports everywhere, all you're doing is improving the likelihood that your model is going to print well, maybe wasting a little bit of resin, but it is going to be worth it. So now if we slice it with it being ready to print, we'll ignore that for now because of this little bit of red on the raft. After slicing, we can see that the model weighs about 40 grams, which costs around €2.40, and will print fine, being appropriately vented and not detached from the build plate. Thank you very much for watching this. I hope that you find it helpful, and bye!